Scratch 1 and 2. We go to the 3, Disco Boom from the Lindsay Hatch stable. Bailey Wheel at a ride, gate 5, takes 1 off down to 58.
His record's quite good, Michael. 18 starts for 4 wins and 5 placings, and he comes here off a freshen up. He led at Gatton back on the 1st of June and ran close fifth there behind Biggie. This might be a touch harder, but he will go forward, and if he's left alone in front, he'll give him something to catch.
4, Highland Bay from the Wayne Oakenfull stable at Inverell. CJ Graham to ride, gate 2, takes 1.5 off down to 57.5.
He's fitter now with 3 runs back from a spell. Did run third at Toowoomba just on, it's almost 3 weeks ago now, but still was beaten almost 7 lengths there, so place chances look best for mine.
6 is Mr. Dudwee from the Paul Butterworth stable. Georgina Cartwright to ride, gate 4, 58 kilos.
He's a nice horse. He resumed at the Sunshine Coast a fortnight ago when he ran 9th there. Beaten 4.5 lengths. He was second to the turn and boxed on well. He's an on-speed runner. May need one more, but he's going to be on the tempo most of the way.
Jack Bruce with 2 here. This is the first 7 Cool Encounter. Ben Thompson rides, gate 9, 57.5 kilos.
He's racing well. He ran second behind Mr. Yushi at the Sunshine Coast and then just got held up at a vital stage at Toowoomba most recently there when he made ground late along the inside. He comes into this race as a definite chance.
The 9 is Carbonetti from the Chris Wallace stable. James Ormond to ride, gate 6, 56.5 kilos. The brow band first time.
Yeah, brings the best form lines into the race. Last start second behind Faulkner Park with Inawashi third over the 2000. Inawashi has come out and won again since. He's only won the 1 from 16 and he's dropping back 400 metres. That's the concern, but the form lines are strong.
Second of the Bruce runners is the 10 Pictures of Beans. Samantha Collett aboard, gate 1, 56 kilos.
Yeah, she's a winner here and she's been racing well the last 4 starts. Last start effort at Doomben wasn't beaten all that far behind Arts Object and seems to race particularly well here at Ipswich.
11 Prickly Poppy from the Paul Jenkins stable. Mark Duplessis to ride, gate 7, 55.5 kilos.
They were stepping up to 1,800 metres quickly behind La Harris at the Sunshine Coast at his most recent start. Is fitter now, has an each-way chance.
12 Mariinsky from the Chris Zentilla stable. Damien Thornton to ride, gate 8 on the minimum.
Has ability but hasn't raced since April, and I think we'll probably need the run.
And the 13 to round them out is Painted Black from the Chris Zentilla stable. Jai Williams to ride, gate 3, takes 2 off down to 52 kilos.
Yeah, stablemate to Mariinsky. Hasn't got any weight, but again, hasn't raced since March and has been unplaced. 5 runs first up.
Loading up well here. Good betting race again, Damien.
It certainly is. Yeah, I'm with the 10 here. Picks of Beans from Barrier 1. She's won 2 races here. I just think she loves this track and she's well suited to the 1680. She's in good form. So 10 on top over 9 Carbonetti, racing very well, hard to beat. Then I'm going to go 7 Cool Encounter and 11 Prickly Poppy. So 10, 9, 7, 11 in the first leg of the quaddie.
I'm 9, 3, 11, 10. I'm with the 9 Carbonetti. Just backing trips a concern. Look, if I was having a little bet, I'd have an each-way Disco Boom and hope he can lead them and keep going. He's enigmatic. He's got a mind of his own, but the Davis family, they'll be home in Townsville watching on. 11, Prickly Poppy, good support, good late money, and the 10, Picks of Beans. 9, 3, 11, 10 for me. Favourite is the 9, Carbonetti. 390 into 290, so well supported. Picks of Beans, 420 into 350 late, good money. 11, Prickly Poppy has been 650 into $5. The 7, which is Cool Encounter, 330 out to 550, and the big fella Disco Boom at $11. They're loading up quickly. Here's Jared Wessel.
Brings Carbonetti just about in. He's the last one to load the fave. He goes forward and we're ready to run. Set for race 6, Ipswich, running 1680. Light on. Set for a start. Oh, Carbonetti rears up in the air there. Back down now. Attendant climbs in. Orman remains in the saddle. Oh, they're off and racing now. And this horse has come out without its rider. Jimmy's still in the structure there. So they've come out at 6s and 7s here. And this riderless horse has crossed straight across the field. So we'll see what happens here. Disco Boom from out wide's going to go forward towards the inside there, Mr. Dudwee. They were followed by Prickly Poppy and then Picks of Beans, followed next then in the field by, on the outside, Highland Bay. Followed further back by Cool Encounter, then Painted Black. And towards last of all then was back towards the rear, Mariinsky. All sorts of shouting going on track here, so we'll see what happens after the race. Disco Boom strides clear, leads 4 lengths from in second spot, Mr. Dudwey. Third, the outside, Highland Bay. They were followed next, Prickly Poppy. Over on the inside, fourth. Getting a little closer then was Cool Encounter. They were followed next in the field by Pixar Beans. Over on the fence from Mariinsky, and 3 away, Painted Black last of all. Disco Boom backs it off, 800 to go, and leads by a half length from in second, Highland Bay. Third, the inside, Mr. Dudwey. Next then, Cool Encounter, followed further out then by Mariinsky, getting into it 3 wide from Pixar Beans, and then came towards the end, Prickly Poppy, just shuffled back a bit there, and last of all was Painted Black. Up to the home turn, we've got 450 left to go. Disco Boom with on the outside, Cool Encounter making a quick move to just about join it. Mr. Dudwey pumped along behind them. They were followed next then by Highland Bay. Mariinsky right to the outside. Cool Encounter got to the front. Disco Boom tries to fight the fence. Pixar Beans is weaving through late, and then Mariinsky. Cool Encounter's in front from Disco Boom, and then Pixar Beans, but it's Cool Encounter clear, and Cool Encounter wins it by a length and a half. Second, Pixar Beans, then came Disco Boom, followed by Prickly Poppy. Next over Mariinsky, then Mr. Dudwey, followed by Highland Bay Painted Black, and I'd hold all tickets, Carbonetti. He came out without James Orman, and we might hear a little bit more about that yet.
Well, 7, 10, 3, 12. I don't think it may not matter, Damien. Our gut feel could be this could be a no race, because the favourite, well, the jockey wasn't even on the horse, and then all of a sudden they've jumped. Half the field were thinking about pulling up, and they've got the start here. Let's have a look. Carbonetti rears up, and you think, oh, well, maybe they're going to have a look at Carbonetti, and then all of a sudden...
He's had a barrier 6 Carbonetti. In
Yeah,
the white colours, you can see Jimmy Orman.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not on the horse.
No, he's not even on the horse, no.
So,
and the horse beside him was also doing things wrong. So, and you see the jockeys after a couple of 100 metres, they look like pulling the horses up. And then I think they, so let's look at barrier, barrier 7.
7, yep. So he's on the side. Disco Boom isn't ready. And then I think they all thought about pulling up, and then a couple couldn't. Maybe that was the story.
I think that's what happened, they're thinking, well, this might be a no race. And then a couple of leaders started and others followed. So we'll hear more from the stewards. As you said, across the line, Cool Encounter, too good for Pixar Beans. At the moment, it's a Jack Bruce Quinella and Disco Boom in third place. But we'll stand by, and I'm sure we'll hear more from the stewards very soon.
We will. We'll head straight to Lewis Willoughby, Mickey Wallace with race 6 at Scone, and we'll keep you updated out of Ipswich race 6.